Today we have Sivi Ranjani with us, who is the founder of Amato Organics and Wellness with Sivi. Let's hear from her on what's Wellness with Sivi and how Amato Organics was founded and how it's inspired a lot of people around.
Hi, I'm Sivi Ranjani.
So to begin with, can you tell me, like in 2 lines, what is Wellness with Sivi and what is Amato Organics?
So, Wellness with Sivi basically happened after my personal struggle with PCOS and infertility for almost fighting with it of 2 to 2.5 years and going through a lot of treatments. Nothing paved way for us. So, post that, I started learning more about nutrition and everything, and that's how I got pregnant with my son, who's currently 3 years old. So as soon as he was born, we started Wellness with Sivi in a way to empower people with the right kind of information, also including alternative methods and holistic methods that can support one. That happened in 2019, and Amato was started back in 2013. So, which is my my passion towards baking and crafts, which led to Amato. And later in 2017, we started including more of skincare products as well. So Amato currently runs with skincare products and also lactation goodies and cookies for kids, which again happened because of my friend's lactation journey and my son's need for healthy cookies.
Now that you have given us your journey of how Wellness with Sivi started and everything, can you tell us on how Wellness with Sivi has impacted certain lives? Because with Social Entrepreneur Diaries, we talk about how an entrepreneur has made a change in someone's life. Can you just give us like some examples and everything regarding it?
Okay, so basically Wellness with Sivi, we started in educating more about menstruation and fertility, how you can restore your periods and fertility through natural methods. So that is how it started. But only when I started digging deeper more into how one can do that, I started learning about more holistic methods, which also includes about reading your body's inputs, what it is trying to tell, how you can set your body the right way so that it can be maintained in a healthy way. And that led to more of body work and energy work learning as well. So this one combines more of body work, energy work, stress management, and at the same time a diet as well. So by following the methods that I tell out from Wellness with Sivi, basically I think I've coached more than 3,000 plus women so far, and there have been more than 200 plus babies because of Wellness with Sivi for the past 3 years. So, and it gives a different kind of happiness for you, because there have been instances where they've been trying for IVFs for almost 7 years, 3 failures or 4 failures of IVFs, and multiple rounds of IUI, multiple rounds of medical interventions, but nothing paved the way, because when you use a holistic approach, you also take into the body work and energy work into consideration. And when you remove those barriers from the body, that is when you tend to get more of an 100% result. So in case if you're opting for the method that I do. So I do still get invitations for first birthday parties, or even ear piercing events, which I tend to attend with my husband. So it's pretty nice to receive those invitations and to say that this is because this child is here is because of you, because of the knowledge that I learned from you. So sometimes I feel like wish I had those knowledge before when I got pregnant. So when I tend to give out these kind of information, very minor things that you need to change in your life, but then that has a very huge impact. For a lot of women, having a baby is like the most important thing in their life. Starting a family, especially with a baby, is the most important thing. And when they tend to achieve that tends to give a different kind of a happiness. And I think that's something that you can't explain in words sometimes.
Impacting 3,000 plus women on the span of 3 years is amazing. So during this whole journey of Wellness with Sivi, what is the most rewarding part as an entrepreneur, as a social entrepreneur? And also I would like you to touch upon with Amato as well, what is the most rewarding part? Because you still work on, natural and healthy ingredients to be used in Amato and taking care of people's health, especially who are your customers. And we all know customers are the kings and gods to us. So, what is the most rewarding part of this journey?
Okay, so Amato or Wellness with Sivi is couldn't be possible without a support system. So, and I think most rewarding part for me is the family support that I have, especially my husband who takes care of my son, and my mother-in-law, father-in-law who takes care of the entire family, because I don't primarily do a lot of cooking or anything else, because I focus more on the work alone. So having such a good supportive system itself is a big reward for me, I would say. But that in turn actually helped me in doing a lot of R&D, taking a lot of time for me to learn more about and digging more about all these aspects in both in Wellness CV as well as Amato as well. So I ended up doing a lot of certifications in that process. So because I had the time and I had the space for it, and that in turn helped the clients, which gave them the results. So when a person is going to approach me in terms of even health, or they're going to ask doubts about their skincare routines or whatever it is, or even the lactation goods or the cookies, whatever that I want to do, I try to push or put in all kind of efforts that I've learned from all these certifications so that they can get the full result. And most of the comments that we get in return are basically positive. So we haven't received any much of a negative feedback in terms of products or the services that we provide, which itself is a great thing. So when they are satisfied with the services or with the products that we are going to give, and they keep returning back to us, then that is nothing more than that. So I think everything put together is the biggest thing that can ever happen.
So in this whole journey as an entrepreneur, and since you are running a service-based business technically, and it's in a social, we call it Sociopreneur Diaries because you have made so much impact and changed so many lives. What is the biggest challenge that you have faced during your journey in the last couple of years in both your companies?
Okay, so regarding the challenges, I would say is the constant break that I tend to take because of my personal life. So Amato was started back in 2013. So up till 2016, it was all a solo work for me. I had the mental support and the financial, the finances were taken care by my husband at the time. But I was in a different location until 2016. But post-wedding of 2016, I shifted to Coimbatore. So again, you step into a new family, and I knew my husband before, but then the entire family, I had to make sure that everything is settled and I balance it out well. So from 2016 until we started the skincare in 2017, it was all about management and setting up Amato in a different city. So from Thoothukudi to Coimbatore, it was a big shift. So Thoothukudi did not have much of a competition or much of different home bakers when we started. But in Coimbatore, it's not the case. In 2016, when we reached, I think there were almost like 30 plus home bakers throughout Coimbatore. And we had to establish our name here. And the most thing that I loved about Amato working from Coimbatore is that many people who are back from Thoothukudi, from Chennai, from Bangalore used to get our cakes. They wanted our cakes for the event. So we shipped our cakes overnight, which was a huge task, and we are extremely proud about how we did that. And that happened in 2016 after shifting to Coimbatore, and that became our USP as well. So any cake that you're going to ask, any customized fondant cakes, we were able to ship it down anywhere within South India. So that was one thing. And from 2018 and 19, so that's when my struggle with PCOD and infertility started. Because of that journey, it led to a lot of depressing events in my life. So I was depressed most of the time because of the things that weren't setting right for me, because of not having a child at that point of time. 2019, I got pregnant, and then I had my son, and then he's a toddler now, so managing throughout the pregnancy, postpartum, and managing my toddler, breastfeeding, and all these episodes together, along with that studying more for Wellness with Sivi, everything was a huge task. But sometimes I turn back and see how did I do so much. I have no clue, but some way or the other things paved well, and I was able to handle all those things efficiently. Like I said, a good support system is very important in terms of handling this. I still do take breaks from time to time with Amato and Wellness with Sivi if at all I'm not personally feeling well, or if there are any personal issues, especially with my mom's health or with my son's health. I definitely need to give more attention towards them. So I do definitely take more breaks, or if I am overwhelmed, I won't be able to handle my clients or work on the products efficiently, because Amato or Wellness with CV doesn't have any employees per se. It's just us, me, my husband, my mother-in-law, father-in-law who helps us, and now my son, he helps with the packaging and he keeps on arranging the packages and all these things. So this is basically a family-run business, both of it. So we do get challenges from time to time, and my biggest challenge would be the time management, because of the breaks that I have to take, unavoidable breaks that I have to take. But we are still navigating our way through it, and yeah, just getting through it some way or the other.
Now that you told about your biggest challenges of taking breaks and everything, like from this I understand that customer retention is the biggest challenge, especially in a service business. So a very common question I guess everyone in India will have: how do you manage being a mom and being an entrepreneur?
The saddest part would be losing a few customers because of this. So initially in postpartum, we found it very difficult because of the constant breaks I had to take with my son, and because he required a lot of attention, and he didn't have the comfort to stay with a lot of different people because it was already COVID time. So 2020 to 21, I think, when we had all the lockdowns going on, anyways, the company wasn't running because of the lack of courier services and everything. So already it was shut down. But then post 21, we had to establish a little bit. And in the meantime of that 1 year, there were so many other brands that started, or brands that developed themselves even in a bigger scale. And brands that started with us are like multi brands now, or they have their own special units and everything going on. They're still on the same level, but one thing that my husband and me both used to discuss is that we're happy with whatever that we're doing here. So, and at the same time, it's just me who's going to manufacture the products. So we don't have any employees as such. If I'm going to manufacture, my husband will be bottling up, he'll be labeling it, and I'll be shipping it. So this is how things are done in our case. But we get the satisfaction of getting things personally done for people, and sometimes in cases of customization, we were able to give that which other brands wouldn't be able to do it because of the large scale production that they do. So even though there will be loss of clients when you take a lot of break, but when we restart, I see most of my clients who've been used to the products and who had known that this product is going to give the results, to definitely come back to us. So in Wellness with Sivi, I do take month breaks sometimes, because if it's going to be too overwhelming for me, or if it's going to be too much of an energy load for me, I have to take a break because I can't attend that person with 100%. And I don't want to do any work without being involved in that for 100%. So I do take breaks in between, but I still feel that people definitely reach out to me asking for help or asking for advice. So when I'm not doing things, I do direct them to the right kind of professionals that they need to seek. And once we start back, everything starts becoming more normal for us. So I think it's something that you will need to feel self-content with it, and do not treat other brands as a big competition unless if you want to do, because they have their own thoughts, they have their own paths, they have their own goals. And at this moment, we don't have any issues continuing in a similar way, because this gives us immense satisfaction. And when you start a work done with a lot of passion, I think that satisfaction is the most important thing that you need to get from it, rather than profits are definitely important, but at the same time, whatever profit that you're going to get, if it is sufficient for you, then that thing is going to settle you mentally, which is the most important thing. So at the end of the day, it's all about how peaceful you are rather than how much you have in your bank. even though you're going to have so much in your bank account, and if you're not peaceful or if you're not giving the ample amount of rest, your body is going to ask for it. And that is, I mean, if you're going to spend that for hospitals or doctors, there is no point in running with so many truckloads of efforts. So do the same effort, but then feeling content is very important. And we feel that contentness with the work that we do, with whatever is happening, life throws at us different balls. We try to work along with those balls as well. So I think it's a personal perspective that we both have, but I think this can definitely help a lot of entrepreneurs, because this is something that it is not showcased outside.
Thank you for that one advice for our entrepreneurs watching this video. Like, it's very important for us to earn money as well as create an impact or a change in someone's life, and be content with that money for our own mental peace. Because I guess in this whole hustle and bustle, the startup world, where everyone just talks about scaling up, and whether you got this investment, whether you got that investment, whether you cracked this deal, that deal. So that is a very important point which all entrepreneurs, even social entrepreneurs, needed in this today's hustle of the entrepreneurship. So the next thing that I would ask, like, what is your long-term vision or your goal for Wellness with Sivi and Amato?
So regarding the future plans that I have for Amato is basically restart everything and be trying to be very consistent with whatever that we are doing, and try to take less breaks as much as possible. So because we have different priorities currently in life, like setting up the family, taking care of the elderly in the family, so that required a lot of our own energy. So and we couldn't cope up with that, so we had to take a break. But then I think with Amato, we are rebranding it. So we are planning to get the cookie section running throughout as much as possible, and the same thing with the skincare as well. So I'm just planning to bring in both the skincare. Skincare products are basically based out of essential oils, which comes under herbalism and aromatherapy. So I am doing more researches on those ones, which could be included with Wellness with Sivi in terms of teas and everything. So we're just trying to collaborate between both of them. Wellness with Sivi, I do have a long-term vision for it, because women don't basically have the connect with their own body. They are not able to read their own body. For years and years, we've been thinking that even the normal period pain, period pain is normal. Period pain is normal. Clots in your periods are all normal, which are basically not normal. We have truckloads of memes and reels going on how a woman is going to work before getting her periods and after, how she turns out and everything. It does sound funny, but then we've normalized so much that reels have it's become common as well. So I think I want to break those myths and facts and help women connect back with their body in the most holistic way as possible, because that's one of the most important thing. And with the events that is going on around the world, it's very important that we safeguard the next generation, teach them the right kind of information, the right kind of food that we need to pass down to them, which is missing for a very long time. So and through Wellness with Sivi, I'm trying to bring more of the holistic methods like acupressure, aromatherapy, and herbalism, and whatever things that can help them bring back the connect without getting them overwhelmed with the process that they're going to do. So energy work and body work are less spoken, but they give tremendous wonderful results in terms of bringing a holistic change in the body. So probably a small clinical setup where we can bring in aromatherapy, acupressure, massages, especially for uterine massages and all these things together, which will be helpful for them to connect back with their body, so that they don't need to end up coming back to me or any kind of a health professional considering their health issues, and there shouldn't be any issues basically. So I find it as a success if a person is not returning back to me in terms of Wellness with Sivi. If anyone comes with a complaint, and if they don't return back to me, and if they have the result with them, I am completely satisfied with that. So many people, they keep on thinking that that client should come back to me, client should come back to me. But for me, a pure success will be if the client doesn't come back to me, she has all the answers with her, and she's able to take good care of her body, then there's nothing more than that. And I try to achieve that with wellness with Sivi as much as possible. And I think everything that I do now is all online, so an offline setup would be really wonderful, where I can meet people in person and work with them in terms of holistic methods, and that could be my little cave of happiness. So we're just working towards that, but whenever time gives us that opportunity, we'll definitely be able to grab it and do it.
So thank you for sharing your long-term vision. I love the way you said that you want to have one-to-one sessions with everyone. So what is the one advice that you want to give to the budding entrepreneurs who actually want to create an impact in society or change their life or do something good for the environment?
This is my personal view and how I have been working so far with the brands. So development of one's own skill is very important. So if you're going to jump into an industry, say for example a baking industry for that case, please make sure that you learn everything about baking before you jump into whatever stream that you're opting for. Because without the right kind of knowledge, it's not going to help you at all. And you can't keep on seeking help or depending on your employees for a longer time with the current scenario that has been going on. It is important that you learn the skill before you teach the other ones as well. So that's very, very important. And the second thing is that it's competition everywhere. So people are going to learn from you, people are going to copy you. And definitely people will definitely try to quote a little bit lower than whatever that you're going to do, and they're just trying to pitch in the market, and they're just trying to catch the market. Do not let anything affect you, because I've been in those states where I see a product or for example, I was more depressed during my baking times. So looking at one particular cake design which was either copied or you can't say copied, because they say that they got inspired from, and even we get inspirations from a lot of things, but it has to be tuned to your style when you do it. And that is very important. So whatever that you take inspirations from, take that inspiration and work on your style. Identify your style first, and then you work based on that. So whatever industry you're going to opt for in terms of entrepreneurship, please make sure that you upgrade your skills as much as possible. So even if there isn't anyone who's there to help you out, you can definitely work for yourself, and that skill is not going for a waste as well. The more you're going to practice that skill, the better you get at it, and the better that you will be in whatever field that you've opted for. So when I switched to wellness with Sivi, I knew that I was never a studious person, to be very honest, but wellness with Sivi toppled everything for me. So I keep studying every day, night, after my son sleeps down. And then I read a lot of books. I never used to be a book reader, but then now I read a lot of books to upgrade myself with the right kind of information. Because when you have a passion towards it, obviously you will put a lot of effort, and you will not be worried about the time that you're going to spend for it, because you love that work that you're going to do. So when you start a business, please make sure that one, you have the heart to upgrade yourself as much as possible. The second thing is that your passion should never die when you start a work. If your passion is going to be dying, or if you just started a business just because someone else is earning profit out of it, it's never gonna work. So as long as you have the passion to it, you'll keep on fighting, even though you have a lot of hurdles towards it. But at the end of the day, if that will make you feel happy and satisfied, and you will have a peaceful sleep at night, which is the most important thing ever. So why do we run so much? Because to have good food, a better place to sleep in, and a better a quality sleep, to be very honest. How many of us actually have a quality sleep? Because we are running against the goal that we actually set in, because of the pressure that we have around us. try setting up your boundaries, which is very, very important. People will come and give you loads of advices. You could have done that way, you could have done this way, but whichever way that you feel is going to give you the happiness and contentness, that is the most important thing. And I think every person who's going to start a business should understand this. And as long as they're working in this path, there is nothing that's going to stop them. It will be like the hare and turtle race. So you will definitely be slow a little bit, but at the end of the day, you will reach your goal rather than being diverted from with different directions or advices. Yeah, so I think this should help you out when you start off in your business. And at any point of time, never give up in the confidence that you have as well, because if you feel that you are right, please quote the right price for it as well, which most of us as an entrepreneur do not do. That is also very, very important. So profit is also important. At the same time, do not give up on whatever passion that you have towards that whatever business that you start.
Okay, so that was Sivi Ranjani, who shared her experiences during her entrepreneurial journey. Some of the takeaways that I learned from this interview would be like, you need to take inspiration from others. It's good to take it, but always have your touch to what you're doing with that inspired thing. So the second thing that I feel is that you need to take care of yourselves and be content with how much ever you have, and you can always grow as and when you get the opportunities to grow too. Just don't run and spoil yourself and spoil your mental health and physical health towards it. Be passionate to whatever you're doing. Passion is good, but at the same time, see that you work on upgrading yourself every single time, and then you get into entrepreneurship. So thank you, Sivi Ranjani, for all the time and effort you gave us to inspire everyone who's watching this video all over the world. So thank you for also being an amazing shaper to our hub.
Thank you so much for this opportunity and for all the wonderful questions that you brought. I think this some way or the other helps someone to set their path right. Thank you so much and keep doing the wonderful.